The wind whispers across the Heartland ranch, but something feels different, like the past is about to collide with the present. For years, Amy has held on to memories of Ty, his voice, his touch, his love. Everyone believed he was gone for good. But then, a silhouette appears by the barn. It's not a ghost. It's Ty. And in that moment, everything Amy thought she knew begins to unravel. Amy had just started rebuilding her life, piece by piece. The ranch kept her grounded, but her heart still wandered, always drifting back to Ty. Her days were filled with silence, her nights haunted by dreams of what could have been. That morning felt like any other, until she heard footsteps, familiar ones, crunching the gravel behind her. She turned around, and there he was, Ty, standing in the same worn boots, with eyes full of stories untold. For a heartbeat, time froze. Amy couldn't breathe. Her hands trembled. Was this real? Ty's voice broke the silence. Soft, unsure, almost broken. He had been gone a long time. Too long. He didn't say why, just that he had to protect his family, and it meant disappearing. Amy, caught between shock and rage, didn't know whether to hug him or scream. The man she mourned was alive, but the pain of his absence hadn't disappeared. It lingered in the air like smoke. Lou and Jack watched from a distance, stunned. Lou whispered, "How is this even possible?" Jack just took off his hat, his face hard to read. Questions buzzed like bees. Where had Ty been? Why now? And could Amy trust him again? But one thing was certain. Heartland would never be the same after this moment. Amy tried to stay calm, but her heart was a battlefield. One part of her wanted to collapse into Ty's arms, to believe that love had conquered death itself. But the other part, the one that had cried alone in the dark for years, demanded answers. As they walked toward the barn in silence, every step felt heavier. The world around them was quiet, but inside Amy, a storm was raging. Ty explained in pieces. He had been forced into hiding. There were threats, real, dangerous threats, against him and anyone close to him. It wasn't just about survival, he said. It was about protecting Amy and Lindy. That's why he left without a word. His eyes were filled with guilt. But guilt didn't erase the years of emptiness Amy had endured. She asked him one question. "Why didn't you trust me with the truth?" Ty had no answer strong enough to silence the pain. The truth hit Amy like a wave. He had chosen silence over partnership. And while his reasons may have been noble, they still left scars. Deep ones. Meanwhile, tension rippled through the ranch. Lou was furious, protective of Amy and Lindy. She didn't want Ty anywhere near them without proving himself. Jack, wise and weathered, stayed quiet. But his silence was heavy, full of judgment and concern. Even the horses sensed something had shifted. Later that evening, Amy stood alone in the pasture, staring at the sunset. Ty approached quietly, just like he always used to. He asked, "Can we start over?" But Amy didn't answer, because some questions take more than words. They need time, trust, and healing. Heartland had been through heartbreak before, but this time it was personal. This wasn't just about love returning. It was about whether love could survive the truth. Section 3. A heart torn between love and doubt. The next morning brought no comfort. Amy stood at the window, watching Ty help Jack feed the horses. It looked like old times, but it wasn't. The past couldn't be erased. Lindy asked, "Is Daddy staying?" Amy couldn't reply. How do you explain to a child that someone can return from the dead and still feel like a stranger? Ty was trying. He fixed the broken fence near the paddock, helped Katie with her school project, even cooked dinner, something he hadn't done in years. He was doing everything right. But Amy still felt like she was standing in a house built on sand. Every smile Ty gave, every memory he tried to rebuild, only reminded her of the years he wasn't there. That night, Amy found a letter Ty had written but never sent. It was buried in the saddlebag he'd carried back. In it, he described his life in hiding. The pain, the loneliness, the unbearable need to hold his daughter, the guilt that haunted every breath. He confessed that he watched from a distance once, saw Amy and Lindy laughing, and broke down. That day, he almost returned, but fear stopped him. Amy wept. The words hit her deeper than Ty's presence ever could. They were raw, honest, and filled with a love that had never faded. She realized something painful. Ty didn't just vanish. He suffered too. Maybe not the same way, but just as deeply. As dawn broke over the Heartland hills, Amy walked to the barn. Ty was already there, brushing Spartan. He looked up, unsure what to say. But this time, Amy spoke first. Her voice was soft, trembling. "You're here, and that means something. But I need time to believe it again."